Yeah, it was hats off to Tennessee Tech. They were locked in. They played harder than we did. They made big shots. They made big plays, and I felt like that we kind of got complacent. We kind of took things for granted a little bit, and when we would get a lead, instead of putting the foot on the gas and extending that lead like we have in the past, we would miss an assignment and give them an open shot, or we'd give them an offensive rebound, or they turned 11 turnovers into 19 points. So, I mean, good teams do that. Good teams capitalize on your mistakes, and they're well coached, and they take on the demeanor of Kim, and she's tough, and her kids were just tougher than us.
Speaking of the turnovers, they had 19. I think y'all had 12 points off of that. That's kind of the difference in the game right there. And it looked like y'all had some problems hitting some shots tonight.
Yeah, I mean, the open shots got to go in. I mean, I thought we had an opportunity to kind of put the game away. We had 2 or 3 open looks, and it didn't go down. You got to make those shots. And that was the difference. When they were open, they made theirs. But they just didn't go in. It just didn't feel like that it was meant to be. We felt like that we ran some good stuff and got some good looks, but the shots just didn't fall. But, our effort on the boards was disappointing. It's something that's been really, really good for us, and it wasn't very good tonight.
I thought a key moment in this ball game, they had not gotten the lead back on you. There were a couple of threes they hit off of scrambles, one of which y'all had the ball, I think, in backcourt. That gave them momentum, it looked like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, the ball bounced their way every time, and then it's a dagger. I mean, but that's what good teams do. I mean, their kids stepped up. Their kids played, made shots, did the things that they need to do. I feel like that, I'm competitive and I'm tough, and teams usually take the persona of their coach. But, I mean, our kids weren't tough tonight, and so that's on me. Got to work on that. Opportunities like this, to go 2-0 in conference don't come along very often. And we didn't take advantage of it. But, we got a tough road next week, 2 games on the road. So, event happens, and your response is going to determine your next outcome. So, we've got to move past this, and we got to get back to work, and we've got to take care of business next week. So, it's going to be like this throughout the conference season. People are going to win games, people are going to lose games. But, our goal was to take advantage of our games at home. And only let one get away tonight. But again, I give them all the credit. I think they deserve to win the game.
Coach, when you have a game and you look at a box score, you hold them to not great shooting. They made some good shots when they needed to, rebounding kind of even, turnovers and things like that. You see the little things. How do you translate that in the locker room to players, that one offensive rebound made the difference, or that one free throw, or made that one open jump shot? How do you translate that to a player?
Yeah, well, I mean, we talked about it, but I mean, you just have to understand that every possession is the first possession of the game, last possession of the game still equals points or no points. And again, I mean, we just did not execute in the way that we have. But I could go back and look at our shots and say we got good shots. Our offenses worked. We got good shots. We ran a sideline out of bounds to perfection. Macy made the 3 off of it, but, it was a little bit too late. But I would take the shots that we got tonight every single night. We just got to find a way to make those shots and find a way. Again, I think it's about toughness. I think when you get in there and they're banging on you and they're holding on you, you just got to be tougher. And so hopefully we learned a lot from this, and that we understand that we better be ready every single night, because everybody's going to give us their best shot. And, there's nothing you can do about this one, so you got to move forward.
I asked Caitlin about it too. And it was Neil and I were looking at it. I couldn't really tell what it was. At times it looked like a 1-3-1, and then they trap on the inside. What were they flashing from a press perspective? Looked like they switched to that late in the first half, and it kind of, I don't want to say worked, but it kept the possessions a lot lower in this game.
Right. Well, I mean, what they were doing is they were just doing a press to try to get you into your shot clock. But again, we didn't turn the ball over really against the pressure. Maybe once or twice, just bonehead decisions. But I'll go back and watch it as soon as I get an opportunity, but I'm not sure. I know there was a couple possessions we took shots I didn't like, but for the most part, I think if you put the kids in position with the basketball where they took their shots from, we'd take it every night. There were 2 or 3 shots, go in, pop out. I mean, it just was one of those nights where it felt like it wasn't meant to be. And again, you got to give them all the credit, because when they had to score, they scored. When they had to get a big rebound, they got a big rebound. When they needed a big stop, they got a big stop. And I just think a lot of it comes down to toughness. They were just tougher than we were tonight.
You were talking about the offensive rebounds. They came out, and I think their first 8 points were off offensive rebounds. However, y'all steadily chopped away at that advantage. You actually took a lead in second chance points after a while. See, it wasn't like y'all just gave up on that.
No, I mean, we rebounded better after the beginning of the game, but, in conference play, you have to take advantage of the opportunities that you're given. When you get a layup, we had a layup at the end of the first half. I mean, Burt misses it. Can't miss those shots. You can't miss those shots. I mean, I'm not putting it on her. I'm not putting it on anybody, because if they weren't ready to play and we weren't locked in, that's on me. But there's a lot of different plays that I can go down to. When we have point-blank shots, you got to make those. Those are the things that come back to haunt you in games like this. And now we just weren't locked in and focused and finishing those plays.
Well, someone else was really tough. Well, obviously her stat line's incredible. Number 24 for them.
She had a great game. I think almost a triple-double. She rebounded the ball well. She got into the paint. We didn't engage her off the ball screens like we should have. Gave her way too many opportunities. But, Jada's a good player, and she took what we gave her. She's not going to really shoot the three. And, when you're trying to take away different things, they have a lot of offensive weapons, so you have to guard them differently than most teams. But, credit to her. She was just tough, took us down in the paint, and made us like it. And, kudos to them.
Entry passes. How much of that is a focus moving forward, especially where entry passes are a bread and butter for this team?
Yeah, I really want to see the film, because I don't really know why we couldn't make that pass. It's something we do every day. It's something we do every game. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we weren't sealing long enough. I'm not sure if we were throwing the ball on the wrong side. I don't know. I just felt like we were a little lackadaisical with the basketball, like we're just going to throw it and take for granted it's going to get there. Well, they're physical. They play hard. So I just think that we got caught up in a little bit of just taking it for granted. And as soon as you do that, as soon as you take anything for granted, karma's going to come back and get you. And, hopefully, like I said, hopefully this is a learning experience that we understand and that we know that we can't do it. You got to be locked in and ready to go from the beginning. It was very disappointing to lose at home, disappointing in our effort and our toughness. But, again, all the credit goes to them. They played well. They played hard.